We're live. Hmm. Crap, that's bright. Oh, crap. Wow, freaking bright. Damn. Oh, bam, 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 bam. What up, Brian? Brian, share this live on your Facebook and stuff. Actually, hold on. We gotta go here. Hold on. There we go.
Bro.
Bam. Hold on. We got another one there. Bam.
Hey.
Let's see if we can.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
There we go. There we go.
I can hear you,
Bam.
Ashton.
Bam.
Yo, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Before we start this, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First off, I love Zach Farmer, and second off, I love Main Man. Okay, that's how I want to start this.
I love it. I love you guys too, man. This is awesome.
For sure, brothers.
I didn't even realize up till now when I was sending the
I'm gonna be real, bro. I don't really do this kind of stuff much. I keep my voice heard, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is the right time to really have this kind of, you know what I mean, discussion, bro. Like, it's like one of those things, bro, that we've like been trying to push away for ages and ages and years, and it just keeps happening, and you know, time for a change.
Yeah. I had an interview with Scribe Cash the other night, and it was nice to be able to talk to somebody and actually have her be able to understand me too. Because I think that's what people need to do more is actually communicate, man. Communication is key in life in general.
100%.
You know, you'll never know you never understand what someone's thinking if you don't listen. So
Exactly.
Hey, you know what? And like, bro, like honestly, like I can understand where some people are coming from, bro, especially like with the art of being profiled. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that's not brought up, bro, like is the fact of being profiled, man, especially by police, bro. Like I want to say I've been there once in my life. I can't compare myself to another person's situation, but I can honestly say I know sometimes there's hidden motives. When you don't want there to be, there still is. And I think that can kind of suck, bro. But I'm usually pretty good at reading people, reading like prejudiced people and people of that nature. I have a pretty good instinct in my gut, you know what I mean, when I'm in that situation.
right. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it like you know, even where I live growing up, like I truly believe that people don't even know why they were acting that way or saying the things that they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
just from a young age, you're hearing these things so many times over and over again that, you know, you don't, like you said, you don't even realize, you know, what you're really being told. You just kind of like, that's all you know because you hear
Yeah.
it over and over again.
Yeah.
Hey, like, bro, here's an example. You know, when we see cop lights nowadays, bro, go up, what's the first feeling we feel? Instant fear, bro. Like, it should not be like that, bro. Like, we are literally, like, merging into a police state, whether everybody likes it or not, dude. Like, we are heading that way. As much as I want to say we're not, I mean, bro, martial law is a thing, bro. I don't know if anybody knows about martial law, but like I've been doing research about martial law, dude, since like 2013, 2014, dude. Maybe even before that, dog. And that shit's scary, man. I mean, martial law, dude. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like, bro, being a black man in this world nowadays, bro, because we live in a very, you know, the police is turning into a military in a sense, dude, in some places. I mean, that's scary, dude. It's not just cops anymore, dog. They're merging more into a military state.
Well, I don't think martial law, you know, has anything to do with just one kind of person. I think martial law, we'd all be.
No, bro. You're not hearing me out, dog. You're not getting me here.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm trying to say is the fact that, bro, like an unarmed black man got killed, yes. But what I'm trying to say with this martial law thing, dude, is that shit will more than likely increase with that state, bro, because it's aggressive. With martial law, you can knock somebody's door down, dog, and go in without any due process, nothing, dog. You don't even need a fucking warrant, dude. You could smash somebody's door down and take them out, bro.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And that's why why those people are paying those protesters to be that way, so they can get that, you know?
So one thing I just want to chime in super fast here. I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook pretty much going,
oh yeah,
you know, obviously everybody's been seeing Facebook. It's a war zone. You know, you
go
on your timeline, and yeah, it's people arguing back and forth on different issues and topics. One thing that I come across a lot is that I think people need to start realizing is I'm somebody who's not anti-cop. I grew up in a town in South Berwick, Maine, which is small.
Mm-hmm.
From the day, you know, from super young age, all I can remember is nothing but good things about the cops here. Never had anything bad. That being said, I went to the protest in Boston on Sunday night.
Damn, good for you, dog.
Thank you, man. And I went Sunday night in hopes that, from what I was seeing on articles, is that we would go peacefully protest, and the cops there were going to either listen to us, take a knee with us, or stand with us. Never did I think that me as a peaceful protester would have tear gas thrown at me, my girlfriend, and our buddy, along with pepper spray being sprayed among nothing but peaceful protesters. So we, in the middle of all this, we go running because we see tear gas. We see people on the ground pepper sprayed that were not doing anything. Now they're they're severely in pain, rolling around because they just got pepper sprayed for standing there. And not more than 15 minutes later, we get to a underground shuttle. So on top of this, before the tear gas and everything, Boston PD shut down the subway system, and they weren't allowing Uber, Lyft, or cabs into the area. So basically, they were trapping protesters in the area.
Yeah.
We ended up, our buddy knew Boston really well. We took this underground shuttle just to get away from the mayhem. And that was about 15 minutes later. And that's when everything started getting posted. That's when live streams started where there was police cars on fire and places were getting looted. It was not the protesters that incited that. It was Boston PD. But I think one thing we need to realize is right now our biggest mission is we need to go towards peace. We can't keep fighting among each other, you know, because more deaths and more people getting hurt is not, going to solve anything. People.
Yeah, two wrongs don't make it right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think right now the focus should be on how are we going to get these policemen in these areas? Because Seattle PD and Boston PD both have been shown to incite these riots. That's an issue, and that's what we're fighting against. We need to be able to come together in a peaceful way to say, you're no longer going to bully us. We pay the tax money that pay you, and you took the oath. You work for us. So.
Yeah. No, bro, that's I think that was perfectly said. And I think that's terrible too that you got tear gas thrown at you for being a peaceful protester. That's ridiculous.
And I want to make
clear,
clear,
never happened.
we avoided getting hit with any tear gas and pepper spray, but it was thrown at us, and we saw people who did get hit.
That's
So
that's ridiculous, bro. There's ways about things, and that's not a way.
Jay,
exactly.
But,
Jay down here said, so you were standing there and then boom, tear gas.
Yeah, so Jay, I was literally standing there. My girlfriend, about 15 minutes before this, said to us, hey, we might want to think about leaving. I don't have a good feeling. And I pretty much was just like, yeah, you know, you're kind of overthinking it. Like, everybody here is peaceful. Nothing was happening. Nothing. You could look up and down the street, all the way down to the north to south end of Boston. Everybody was standing with signs, chanting, no looting, no anything. And then it was shortly after that, yeah, we saw tear gas and we were like, what the hell? Started running, saw more tear gas, started running the other way. You know, it was just a mob of people. And what was sad too is I saw, you know, people my age, about 20 to 22 years old, with fear in their eyes, legit fear that they,
crazy.
didn't know what to do. And that's not right. That's promoting the violence that we're seeing, and we can't have that. We gotta promote the peace.
Bro, but that literally like ties into like what I was talking about. I know, Scott, you didn't think like it really made sense of what I was talking about earlier, but I think martial law does kind of tie into this conversation, because with martial law, they're using military force. And when these cops are doing these things, like throwing tear gas, pepper spray, that's like the same thing, dude. It's like literally trying to strike fear into people. And that's what I'm trying to say. So if we think it's bad right now, it's just like we got to do things differently. Like, I feel like the police, they got to do things a little bit differently too. We can't be force on this side and force on the other side. We got to kind of have a happy medium. You know what I mean?
Real quick, Ashley, I just want to respond to Jay's comment, because I saw he said nobody was doing anything at all. That's kind of hard to believe. I know it's hard to believe because, like I said, there's many people in this world that believe that cops can do no wrong. That's an issue. We got to realize that cops can do wrong. I don't know if it's allowed, Scott, but like there are links and everything. You know, these are things that are not shown on the national news, not in the media. You have to find these videos. You have to go on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, watch these raw, unedited videos, and you'll see dude, I have about 13 different Twitter videos showing Boston PD destroying their own cruiser, Boston PD tear gas and peaceful protest. Like, it shows a bike group of cops carrying bikes and pushing people who were moving back, and then tear gas or pepper spraying them as they were like walking back. So pretty much, like I said,
bro.
That's the thing. I went to Boston that night. The next night, I went to one in New Hampshire. Over 1,000 people, nothing but peaceful. So it can be done. Wow. But we need to realize that cops are inciting some of these riots. Whether the riots are right or not, because I've never been a supporter of destroying a small business or anything like that. And I'm telling you, yeah. And Jay, watch the Seattle PD video. I have a link right here for a Reddit video where Seattle PD is seen in front of all the protesters, every single one chanting, "This is not us. We don't need a riot. Peaceful, no rioting. Tear gas and pepper spray."
Mickey, if you're watching, I sent you a message.
I mean, I don't know if there's any way I can link these things after or like during or whatever, but I would love to just show you. Like, these are videos that you won't see on the news. You have to go find these raw phone footage from people who were there.
Here's something we can do. Oh, no, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
As a father, and what bothers me from the most here is that, you know, seeing it all over the news and it being as loud as it is everywhere, my kids are seeing it, and now they are scared of the cops.
Mm-hmm. You know, I mean? And that shouldn't be the way. That shouldn't be the way to live. Absolutely not.
Now my 3-year-old, she hears a cop car, she literally runs up on the couch next to me.
Yeah, dude, and that's sad. Like, yeah. I said, in the town I grew up in, I remember being 4 years old and dialing 911 as a 4-year-old because I was curious. I didn't know what it meant or anything. And I had a cop come up, and he could have done one or two things. He could have scared the shit out of me as a 4-year-old, made sure I never did it again. Yeah. But instead, he decided to come in and explain to me, as a human to human, listen, you can't do that. You know, he was very friendly about it, and it was a good situation. And like I said, not all of these police departments are corrupt, and causing this mayhem.
I'm gonna
But
try
we
to
got-
add. I'm gonna try to add somebody, you guys. I don't know if it's gonna take me out for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never added somebody. This girl Nikki, she's wanting to talk to people about this. She's a good. Her name is hippie chick. You'll love her, Zach.
Word.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do this. And hold on. You guys still there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we here.
All right, hold on.
Give a brother a chance to talk after this too, bro.
Who me?
Me.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not talking much.
I was
dude.
gonna say, yeah, go ahead, Ashton.
Yeah, talk. Go ahead.
I just want to say, man, like, no matter like what we talk about, I want to get one point across, and I think it's like the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that like unarmed black men need to stop getting killed in this country, and they need
Correct.
to stop getting profiled too, bro. Like, it's ridiculous, dog. Like, my boy's from Philly, right? And he talks about profiling all the time in that city in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very common thing, and like
I know
that shouldn't be
people
the case,
that
bro.
I know people of color that won't drive in certain parts of Cleveland because if a cop
that
sees
crazy?
a colored person driving, they're gonna pull him over, and that's sad.
crazy.
You know, that's what
crazy,
needs
bro.
to change. Like, you know, we can't have that anymore. We can't be in 2020 and let this shit pretty much control us. You know, we're all
Keep going.
before we, solve these debates or anything, we got to realize we all live together. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We all live on the same earth, the same planet, and there's no change in that. Whether we want to move forward together or backwards, that's our choice. But we gotta realize there's no I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. We're all here together for the long run, and we got to work together to
Make progress.
make progress. Be a peaceful. It's not impossible to be a peaceful nation. It's not impossible to be a peaceful world. We just got to work for it. Because right now it's a mess, but we got to clean it up,
Hey.
and we got to do it working together.
Zach, you know what made me really proud, bro, at SMC when we went together? That one time, shout out to Habib, by the way. I know he's probably not
Habib.
watching this, but shout out to Habib. So Habib and my buddy Frank, they were both thrown out of SMCC for a very bullshit charge. And another dude who was of Caucasian
the
descent got
poster.
let off
Here.
with like no sentence at all, dog. Like he was basically he was found with more weed than this black guy, and the black guy got kicked out of SMCC, dude, for like a stem, and the other dude had like a gram of weed. So right there, I mean, I know it's a completely different example compared to getting gunned down and all that, but like I'm just saying, like being profiled, and I never would have thought my residential director was like that. You know what I mean? I never would have thought that in 20 years, man. And I started looking at her in a different light after that, her and the other RAs, because I mean, the biggest thing in 2020, guys, that's scarier than anything is closet racist. You know what I mean? I mean, people
And I
who
think-
have hidden agendas, who
I
are
think we're-
prejudiced, that's scary.
Oh, he's-
I
hold
think
on.
we're. Oh, sorry.
Yes, she is.
Hello.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi. How are you
Hello,
guys
Fort
today?
Good. How are you today?
Are
Yeah,
y'all
nice to meet you.
together?
I'm Nikki. That's my tag on Instagram, but that's what I go by. But you can call me Nikki.
Word.
Mhm.
Welcome.
I'm sorry. Continue what you're saying, and I'll add after that. Go ahead. Proceed.
Wait, where were we?
I don't remember.
Zach,
I
do you
think.
want to? Well, oh yeah. What I was gonna say is I loved how after that whole racial situation we had at our school, everybody bonded together, dude. It was
Everyone.
incredible to see like
Mhm.
people of every color like standing up for an injustice. Like, and I think that's what's beautiful with this situation, aside from the looters, the damage, things being set on fire, is that like everybody can honestly say in that video, nobody can say that cop was in the right. Nobody can say the things that he did, you know what I mean? Were like, oh,
Nope.
you know, what I don't know if he got caught with like what was it, a fraudulent $20 bill, but that doesn't equal a life. And I think that's
Exactly.
ridiculous that people even bring that conversation up. I'm not saying any of us here do, but I'm saying I imagine there are people who are talking
So-
about that, which is complete bullshit.
Mm.
I don't know if I should swear in here or not. I'm sorry, guys. I
Oh.
don't know if this is like.
I mean, I don't care. But
All right.
if anybody else?
Speak your mind, bro.
Preach your truth, bro.
Yeah, talk your shit, man.
But that's what I loved about SMCC in South Portland is how everybody like bonded, man, and we all like stood up. We were all on Habib's side, like we all wanted to vouch against the SMCC board. You know what I mean? And we stood up for an injustice, and I think that is what's so important about us making progression with humanity is standing up against injustice and like standing with each other rather than against each other.
And a really good thing that came out of that is we did it peacefully. There was no
Yeah.
fighting with the RAs and RDs at our school. We just bonded together. We printed flyers and we protested. And we pretty much said, hey, stop. Like, we see what you're doing and we're not okay with it. And we're not going to take it. Like, we're not going to be bullied.
Oh,
like
dude,
this.
that blew up like a dynamite,
Right.
dude. That blew up like a dynamite. But I'm, you know, and I feel so bad that because Habib was such a great dude, man. He was such a good student. He, you know what I mean? He was just a very smart guy. And it's unfortunate that situation had to happen. And more, you know, more than anything, like, this stuff has to stop. Like, we, you know, it's got to stop. And I don't know. I'm waiting for us to, you know, make progression. I feel like we made a lot of progression, but you know, just like anybody else, when is this shit gonna stop?
Honestly, I feel the same way. And I've been very, you know, I'm an Instagram person, but I've heard every side of the coin. Okay, every single side of the coin, how people feel politically, this, and that. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm throwing out there. I'm a hippie. I get along with everybody. I understand everyone's views. And you know, I was talking to me, man, today, and I'm just like, can't make everybody happy, right? You know, okay, fine.
Exactly. Yep.
But I will say, in the protests that occurred that I saw were peaceful, because I'm woke too, okay? I looked up these things too.
Mhm.
And I've seen the amazing peaceful protests where the cops and the protesters did it together in a peaceful manner, and they accomplished so much.
Mhm.
That I will stand by. That I think is beautiful.
Exactly.
Okay.
100%.
Right. In the aspect of how, you know, everyone else feels, you know, everybody has a right to their opinion. At the end of the day, none of that matters. We are all a country. We're all together. I understand, you know, where this, I've witnessed racism myself, and I've been the subject of racism myself for being white.
Wow.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah, and
But you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I love people. I love everyone. I love people, and I want us all to be one. At the end of the day, I want us all to be one, whatever that's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
However we
So-
figure it out.
so you know what's crazy is, like, one thing that I can honestly say I'm blessed to be. I think what's cool with me is that, like, I'm biracial myself. I'm Native American and Caucasian, and I've seen racism on both sides of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
I've seen white people be discriminated. I've seen Native people be discriminated, and it's both not right. No discrimination of any color is right, you know. And I think the most we can do is just love each other, man. At the end of the day, bro,
Yeah.
love and peace is everything, man. If we don't have that, bro, then we are absent from where we want to be in this life and finding our soul calling.
I wanted.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I
You know
just
what?
want real quick. I just want to build off what Ashton just said. Oh shit! I had it. I lost it. I had a whole
You
point.
got it, bro.
I'm cheering you up, boy. Let
I
me just
believe in
show you.
No, you're good.
Let me shake you.
Let me shake
I'm
you.
just kidding.
Smell. What do you have to say? I haven't heard from you in a minute.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
brother.
I had talked to Nikki about this earlier. You know, I don't know, like, let's say on like LeBron James or Puff Daddy's page or something like that, I always see those guys and a lot of other African American people always trying to say that they need to stick together. They need to build each other up. They need to do this, and they need to build their community. How come that's fair to do? But the minute I feel like I'm not allowed to even love myself. You know what I
So
mean?
I
feel like
think
I'm not allowed to love myself because I'm afraid that someone's gonna think I'm, liking myself for being white or something. When I see it happening all the time in these people's,
True.
they talk about it all the time. You know what I mean?
So I think the biggest thing that comes from that, and I think it also stems along with the whole Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter saying. I think right now, in the society we're in, everybody can agree that everybody's lives matters. But
Absolutely.
the focus is right now, just with everything going on, the amount of unarmed black men and women getting killed by police, and not even police, just other racists in America, because racism is still alive. That's just we
Right.
got to. That's just yeah.
Right.
I mean,
And we were talking. I'm like, huh?
oh no, go ahead. No, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
You're good. You have the floor.
You know, and you know, Main Man's been rocking me for a while. You know, we've been rocking with Mile High, Church, all them, and I love everybody. Like I said, I respect everyone's views, and I understand. I understand where people are coming from. I really do. At the end of the day, I just want to see us be one. I can't promote that enough. You're gonna see Peace and Unity on my page. I did a live the other night. I was just being a goofball because I thought people needed a little bit of happiness. So if I was for myself and fall on the damn floor, that's what I did. You know, I just want to bring joy and peace to everyone, and I want everyone to understand that we're not all going to see eye to eye, especially during this time in this country. But let's not argue about it. Well, this is not. Let's come together. Let's negotiate. Let's discuss these things. Let's sit down and have a talk.
Right.
In some way, shape, or form.
I love that, dude.
Now, another question I have is this. Okay, say
Go ahead, brother.
I've been beating myself up over, I know the type of person I am. And I know, like, I put myself in the position of the guy filming this happening, right? And I say, I would have knocked that cop over.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I hear a lot of people saying they would have knocked that cop over. Okay, now, say we were standing there on a normal traffic stop, and the cop has a guy down on the ground, and we're watching. And we're trained to know not to interfere or we're going to go to jail. Now, how do we know when is the right time? Or say if I would have pushed that, say in that instance, I would have pushed that cop over and George wouldn't have passed away. And then George wouldn't even have respected the fact that I did that. And I would have gone for a felony and I would have gone for a long time. And George just went for, a misdemeanor and it went on his way and then nothing ever happened. And we never would have known what happened right now. So how do we know when to jump in and
intercede? You mean? Yeah.
I think that needs to like. Oh, sorry, man. I think that goes along to like what we were saying earlier about how we need to change how we are as a people and cops together. I think that's one of the things that needs to change in the sense that you said your 3-year-old is now scared of cops. Mm-hmm. That should be. I know what you're saying because it is a difficult thing. If you just walk past and see it happening, you're like, well, who's in the right? Who knows? I think it's a different situation when, like, you're blatantly watching a man that's handcuffed with a knee to his neck. I think at that point, enough people, because you're right, nobody there did push him off, but I think if the right person was there, or the right, because I think, most people watch that and they would see, like, there's nothing about that that's okay. There's nothing about where his knee is on the, on him, on his neck, being handcuffed on the ground. So yeah, it's. I get what you're saying. It's hard to like determine when it is okay and when like we should interfere.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are just scared too of like lethal force as well, man. Like, think about it. This guy's got his knee on him. If you go over and try to tackle the guy, let alone even grab the cop, like you might even get shot yourself.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's so hard to like, and I wish somebody would have intervened, but at the same time, like I can understand, like it's kind of hard to just jump into a situation like that and like grab a cop or something, like I said, because lethal force is a thing. Yep. You know what I mean? And
especially those are bad guys. We probably would have got killed.
Or that's the thing too. So I think that's where the outcry comes. Super quick. I'm so sorry. I just want to say that's where the outcry comes from, because if the reality is, if it was any one of us kneeling on George Floyd's neck, we would be in jail already. Nope. It wouldn't have taken this long. And I think that's what people are opening their eyes to. It's like, whether we like it or not, there is a problem in the police force that gives them almost not like a higher ground, but it gives them this like chance to almost walk free when anyone else wouldn't, Oh
yeah. Yeah. Let me just add I can just add this real quick. Mm-hmm. Just real quick on a side note, I want to shout out to my grandfather, who was a chief of police of a suburb of Buffalo back in the 70s and 80s, and he was a kind and honest, fair cop. So like I said, we all know good and bad cops, good and bad writers, good and bad, so on and so forth, right?
Exactly.
Right. I got you. I just wanted to add that.
Hats off to that.
Oh, of course.
Seriously. I mean, that's what we need more of, though. We need like a chief of police, like you were talking about, who's like kind and who does their job for the right reasons. They don't let power and authority get to their head. I mean, it's sad how some of the some people can get brainwashed by that, you know, of having that badge. I'm not saying all cops do, but I can imagine some have like a power trip with having it on. You know what I mean?
Jay in the comments makes a really good point of saying, think about it if it were to happen in Maine. If this situation were to take place in Maine, you know?
No, he was
like,
saying,
Yeah.
think about it. He was thinking about Maine, man. He was saying, think about it.
Oh, my bad. That is, I guess
Hey,
that is a
so-
good point though. Like, if it were to happen in a place like Maine where like these things don't happen that often, or at least we don't hear about it, I think it would be a different situation, honestly, if like somebody came across it in Maine, because they'd be like,
Well,
what the
that's
fuck?
why
Like,
a lot of people are saying if it would be different if it happened to you, so people don't feel the same, and a lot of people have been crying that out, screaming that out. Like, we sit here and we watch everything, and we don't feel like we need to do anything because it's not happening to us. You know, that's what, and it's absolutely not. Like, I've sat here and wondered how I can help in any way. And that's why I did this. I wanted to bring all you guys on to talk about this.
And that's honestly, that's why I went down to protest in the first place in Boston on Sunday night. Is I wanted a way to show my support, and I knew that just being there and chanting along with everybody, that I'm just another person standing up to the system that's corrupt right now. And I
Dude,
said,
you're brave for that.
well, I don't even want to call it brave. Because in reality, in straight reality, in America, you can go anywhere you want with a sign. You know, like, that's perfectly legal. So I don't want to think of myself as brave at all, because all I was doing is going there and expressing my First Amendment right. And like, I don't
No,
think that
brother,
should be.
I'm more in a sense talking about like the coronavirus epidemic that's going on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I just want to know the comments. Listen, you know, about the black 77-year-old officer that was not okay. Again, my grandfather was a police officer. I have utmost respect for police officers that are just, that are kind, that are right. Police officers in my town, I'll tell you right now, we're a small little town with one traffic light. We've got a creek. I've got the nice little country life here. And you know what? Everybody's kind. And I guess like we don't really experience it as much here. I mean, I have experienced life a lot. I've lived in the city, but I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make everyone understand all sides of the coin so that we don't judge each other. And so we understand all views of all aspects of life in this country, regardless of politicism, regardless of religion, regardless of color. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. I saw a video the other day that made me smile because, like I said, I'm like you. I like to get every side of the coin, and I want to get the news that's real. I don't want to get the stuff that's moved around and stuff. I look for raw, uncut footage, the good and the bad. And there are plenty of bad out there from both sides, you know, for sure. I think, you know, we need to be calling out everybody that needs to be called out. But there's also been a lot of good, and a lot of the good I've seen videos of cops being like, we're putting down our batons, we're putting down the gear, we're marching with you. I've seen cops take a knee. On that same side, though, I've seen videos of cops try to take knees and other cops pull them up. So that's like, you know, that's the thing. It's like we want to fix these issues because that might not happen at Maine or New Hampshire, you know, one of these smaller states where a lot of, you know, not a lot of crime happens. You know, you wouldn't be seeing that, you know, that sort of thing in a way.
Hey, so like, I don't know if you guys knew. I mean, I imagine you guys did because I'm pretty sure I know everybody did kind of their research on this. That officer, guys, he should have never had a badge in the first place. You guys know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
He shot an unarmed Native man as well, too.
Yeah.
He shot an unarmed Native man, I think. I don't know what year it was. It wasn't that long ago. And that right there, after shooting that unarmed Native man, that should have been it for his whole career as a police officer.
Grounds for
So
firing.
I think what blows my mind is the fact that they gave this dude a badge and they said, hey, bro, give it another run. You know, like there needs to be deeper background checks. And like, if you have an infraction that is that major, your ass should be grass.
That's what I was going to say. It comes down to all brand new training all across the country or wherever, all across the world, all new, like brand new ways to deal with every situation. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you need to have one problem is, like I heard somebody say, you know, there needs to be a supervisor. You never know which where the bad starts and ends. You know what I mean? So you could have 3 cops in one situation and 1 supervisor, and that supervisor could have been the leader of the bad. So
Exactly.
Dude, guys, I have a badass example for you guys. And Scott, this really ties into what you were saying. So, like, when you're under authority, you have to do what authority says, right?
Yeah.
So let me give you guys a little brief example of this. I knew a guy who was a retired, he did 2 tours on Iraq, and he dealt with major PTSD, right? And one night we were drinking, we got all buzzing, and he told me that he had to use lethal force on 3 unarmed citizens in Iraq who like were not doing any harm. And the only reason why he pulled that trigger is because his sergeant said he had to. So,
Yeah.
And he told me that he didn't tell like anybody ever. So I feel like that ties into what you were saying, Scott, because you were talking about like being under a supervisor. And if that supervisor tells you got to do something, either you do it or you're not, you don't have that badge anymore. Or you don't have that rank anymore. So I think that's a very conversation that's not talked about. And I mean, I can imagine there's been some really good cops who are under like somebody like that. You know what I mean? Who's trigger happy, who wants to force. It's sad, man.
Yeah, it is sad. And let me just say this and move it a little sideways a little bit. And if you can side with me here, I don't know, but what it comes down to at the end, and I think we all know this, what comes down to at the end of the day, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people are instilled with certain values. Therefore, we now as a people can't even hardly talk to each other anymore because we don't want to offend each other. And I don't want to hurt someone's feelings on this side or that side. And it's like we can't, we can't stay silent. We've got to talk about it. But at this point, it's like we've all got to grow a pair and voice our opinions. But at the end of the day, I've learned in my 38 years of living, okay, I just accept everybody who I don't have to agree with everything. I don't have to. But I love everyone because we really need to unite as a people, regardless of whatever is going on in this world. And that's, like I said, that's my MO.
You're an American citizen. You have a right to your opinions.
Today, for
freedom of speech, dude.
I remember today I woke up and one of my buddies has posted some related to the protests on Facebook, and I commented something, taking a little jab at him because we do that. Me and my buddy have always, whenever we post something political, we disagree, but we're still homies, and we always take jabs at each other, and they're always innocent. They're never some like terrible where like it's like I wouldn't say that. It's all very innocent and friendly. I ended up having about 4 or 5 of his other homies because he went off to college and made some new friends or whatever. And like 4 or 5 of his buddies jumping on. And it was nothing harmful. And pretty much I also knew like if I post something publicly, I can, I can't be angry at backlash or whatever because I put it out there. But pretty much these guys responded with simple things like Farmer is a quote unquote pussy snowflake. They went on to say things like, they went after my mom at one point. But these are things that I didn't let bother me in a way because, one, I know a lot of these people won't back that up in person. They play behind the computer screen, which is fine. They can do what they want. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to let that get under my skin. There are bigger issues going on. But it also made me more sad that I couldn't have a disagreeing opinion on something without a discussion. It went straight from my opinion to, well, fuck you. I don't want to listen to you. You have no valuable, reasoning. And I actually had a couple of buddies from my high school comment on that, be like, regardless of what you guys think, Zach is actually a really friendly and good-hearted person, and he's not trying to cause whatever you guys are throwing back at him. Right. So I think that is kind of a thing. It's like, yeah, we need to be able to talk, and on that same, on the other side of the coin, we need to be able to voice our opinions, but we should also be able to like be civil about it. We shouldn't have to have,
there needs to be civility.
Dude, because if we don't work on like understanding each other's opinions, we're gonna literally transform into a communist state.
Yep.
Yeah.
In communist states, you don't have an opinion, right? The only person who has an opinion is the person in charge. And that's a scary ass thought. You know what
It
I
is a
mean?
scary
So
That's what makes
Hey,
this
so-
country beautiful. Is everybody is able to have like an opinion about something. There's
Sure.
so
there's certain things morally I can't like. I will choose if. And it doesn't go along with politics or anything, but morally, there are things that if I don't agree with somebody on, morally, I'm not going to go after them. If I feel like they bring no value to what what I believe in, or like I said, it's a moral difference that we'll never see eye to eye on. It's easy enough to just like not like focus on that. It's easy enough to bond with the people who are gonna are morally on your side and work together versus putting your focus on the one person you don't agree with or you don't hate.
or it's just like automatically like we gotta fight now. You know what I mean? Like it's
Well, right. And you know what I've learned also? Even people you disagree with or whatever, I meditate a lot, like not meditate, but just in my thoughts and really just think deeply.
here.
And I'm like, I always say, even if a person I don't agree with or whatever, and I don't like their opinion or I might not like that, whatever, I want to learn to help me love that person, whatever powers be, help me to love that person and understand them. And I do that all the time.
Nice.
I saw real quick. I saw a
Consciousness.
video, and this
Consciousness,
kind of goes along with like people having to go find these raw footage videos and not like watching whatever is on the news all the time. There's a
Right.
video in Charleston, South Carolina, from one of the protests, and it's probably one of the best speeches I've ever heard. The video's about 2 minutes long. For the first minute and 40 seconds, it's this young black kid in tears crying to the police officer saying, I understand your pain. I understand the pain of innocent cops. I understand the pain of black people. I understand the pain of white people being oppressed. I understand it and I feel it. I want to understand you. I would love to come to your house. I would love to meet your family. I would love to meet your kids. He's like, this is not everybody on their best day. We need to see each other on our best days so we can actually have these talks. Now,
Yes.
as incredible as the speech was, and as I hate to bring the negative into it, right in the middle of him speaking to the cops, 3 cops came up forward and said, this activity is not illegal. You are causing a scene right now, and pulled him and arrested him.
Undeniable. I'm handing you the talking stick.
Nah, bro, you can.
No, I
I've
don't
been
want
talking way more than that.
I want you to talk, bro.
Oh, bro, I'm sorry. I'm just loving like everybody's
Cut
like,
off all the time. So
The stream is just too friendly.
I just love like everybody's input, bro. I just want to say like everybody's super open minded, and I feel like at the end of the day, man, us as human beings, like our purpose here is to be the best people we can be, to leave the best imprint we can be, and to be the best human beings we can be. And like you said, hippie chick, love people, man, show compassion. Like
Yes.
that's what we need in this situation, man, is love and peace. Like anger and hate is just gonna make us hate each other more. It's gonna lead to more division. Like
Yes.
we just go, I mean, and my thing with being a human being, I think everybody's mission, not only from the sides I was talking about, is to find consciousness. Because when you
Yes.
find consciousness, like that's when you realize that everybody is one, that we are not against each other, that literally like, I don't know, I don't want to get too much into my spiritualism and like my beliefs, but I just all believe that we come from one source, man. Like, I don't know. I just feel like we all come from one source, and I don't know. That's just. I mean, we need to work towards that. You know what I'm saying? Like working on becoming one as people, rather than who's a Democrat, who's a Republican, who's a fucking libertarian. Like, who gives a fuck, man? Like, why can't we just be human beings at the end of the day? Why do we have to just cut each other off so much in politics and like, oh well, if you're in that party, then we can't talk. You believe this and I believe that. You know what I mean? It's just. It's like we can't have a common ground and meet middle in the road. You know what I'm saying? It's sad.
and the fact that you'll hear it all over the news all the time, and a lot of social media platforms. It I'll put white people are getting the same name, and it's so sad to hear that because not everybody is the same on either side. You know what I mean? So
there's Irish, German, Italian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm all of that, by the way.
And that's another. Oh no, my bad. I was just gonna say I've had that conversation before, And I mean, I'm even probably guilty of this calling myself a Native American, you know, and that just being one label. Like, I'm part of the Passamaquoddy tribe. Like, that's my tribe. And I don't know if you guys really sense where I'm going with this, but, you know, when you just call people like, oh, they're white, this, you know, like, we all come from certain different cultures and backgrounds, and we're just, like, kind of put into this one fucking category.
The box. We're put in a box, and that's a lot of the problem. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. We're
Okay.
just put in a box with labels. You know, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yep.
It is. And I'll say this. My youngest daughter is half Puerto Rican. She's Caucasian and Puerto
Oh,
Rican.
word.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So, yeah. And I was always raised to never see color. And also, any of my friends that I have on here are all different types of political parties. And I don't let politics get in the way of my friendships. I will
Good
not.
for you, dude.
I will not. It's got to
Yeah,
start
good for you.
somewhere.
And I've always been the same way. I've had, you know, always been openly pretty in the center, but definitely leaned a little bit more left than right for sure. But I've had
Right.
Republican friends my whole life that we've disagreed on issue after issue, and it's been totally fine. What I find myself doing right now in a way is there's a lot of people who kind of just like they miss the point of like the movement going on right now, and they're quick to say so like when somebody posts like Black Lives Matter, I'll see all the time somebody comment all lives matter, and it's true, all lives do matter, but until Black
It's
Lives
not a
Matter,
competition.
you know, it's pretty much right now we're pointing out when people say Black Lives Matter is there is a racial biasness in the system right now, and we want to fix it. Of course, everybody's
Hey.
lives matter. When gay marriage was going on, the Gay Lives Matters, it was a saying. It wasn't as big as a movement as Black Lives Matter, but it's a saying when we have to put focus on a group of individuals that, and you know, this isn't something that's just coming from like 2 or 3 years. This is hundreds of years. And yeah, we've made tremendous progress. But the fact that in 2020, a black man is still getting killed that's unarmed for a crime that does not even equal close to death. That's
No.
what,
Yeah.
you know, that's what people we got.
Read that undeniable. Read that last comment.
Oh, dude, I haven't even been looking at like all the comments, fam. I didn't even
Yeah.
know there was a comment box, bro. I'm so behind, bro.
Look at
I'm in private, dude. I was in the private chat comments, dude.
Look at
I'm
the.
so stupid, dude.
Look at
Hold on.
Wild Fonts. You got that a lot, right?
Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, my native? I'm 50-50 Irish and Cherokee Indian. My mother's full native. That's what's up, man. Hey, shout out to you. That's what's up.
But he's making a point.
We
I was
are,
called and I'm not a native. You know, it's
up?
yeah. It's just like my daughter. What are they going to do? She's older. Like, you know, I mean, you know, the Hispanic community and the white community. What, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
And
that's
hey, one day,
but
I
everybody's
was gonna
cool.
say one day, guys.
Hmm?
One day we're gonna be literally, and here's a good example of it, right? Like San Diego, for instance, right? My mom stays over in San Diego, guys. There's people, you'll be on a bus, right? And there'll be like 5 different people of different ethnicities, and everybody's sitting next to each other. Nobody's harming each other, nothing, anything like that. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what our world is turning into, and I think that is a great thing because everybody needs to be acknowledged, like, and understand one's culture and ethnicity and why certain people, you know, believe the way they do. It's just like being the process, like you said, hippie chick, being open-minded. You know what I mean? Being an open-minded person without like judging somebody or like, you know, things of that matter. Like we just all have to understand each other. If we want to make this thing work as humans, we all got to love each other and we all got to understand each other. And we can't have any room for hate at all.
No, I don't have room in my heart for it. I don't know that I ever have. I don't know that I've ever been built that way. Not that I'm a perfect human, because God knows we all are not. But
no, we're not.
Don't have room in my heart for hate. I can't. I won't do it.
The problem is, like,
I feel that.
we got to stop, like, ending it after the problems, like, after the incident stopped, like a couple months from now. We got to keep it up instead of letting it die down. We got to keep this fire underneath us, man.
Yeah.
Million Mile Club
Exactly.
brought up a point in the comments that said, do you guys realize that if it was not for your parents and grandparents overcoming the hurdle of interracial marriage, how much hate towards mixed children there would be? And definitely, I think people are realizing that as much, like I said, and I think Nikki and I and pretty much everyone here is on the same page about we want, like, peace is the number one thing that we want.
Yes.
I in no way at
Equality,
any point
too.
did no point in any of this did I support the ideas of like small businesses getting looted, you know, the small communities getting. I never was in support of that. What I definitely do see, and I don't respect it necessarily, but I understand is there's a movement of people who go to these protests peacefully. They go in with the mindset of I'm going to be peaceful. I'm going to go into this, you know, with my hands up and just love everybody. And then they get tear gas or pepper spray thrown at them, and they realize I don't have my enemy, who I thought should have been my friend, is now my enemy, because that in your mind, when you get a shot thrown at you, that's no longer a friend. You know, you are now against that.
Right.
I didn't
Of
lose.
course.
I didn't lose sleep over hearing about the stories about Target, bigger corporations, you know, that got attacked. Because in a way, I don't want to be like that guy in a way, but you know, these are corporations that have been stealing from people for years and years. To see, you know, a Target go down or a Walmart go down, I'm not losing sleep. I understand that people, when you don't have any more friends there other than the people you're standing with, you're going to want to react in a way that, you know, is going to cause them to pretty much show you that I'm not going to be bullied by you. So if a cop throws tear gas at a peaceful protester and they go into Target stealing, like, you know, whatever, in their mind, and this doesn't go for everybody, because there are some people that just go with the mindset of I'm going to go destroy stuff, which is not right. But there's a good amount of people that are pretty much getting their anger out, pretty much saying, I'm not going to let you bully me, so I'm going to do this, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't support that at all for small businesses, and I don't even think it's a good thing that's happening, but I understand it when it comes to Walmart and big corporations. You know, I understand that anger.
I honestly would say, you know, if I showed up there, I'd probably be the person standing in between both parties, just saying, please stop, you know, like that's what I would be. But go ahead. I think Undeniable had a thought.
Oh no, it's see, for me though, like Zach, I see what you're saying about the large corporations, dude. I do understand that. You know, I think even in the past, somebody was like, oh, I stole from Walmart. I was like, who gives a shit, dude? It's fucking Walmart. You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember I'm definitely guilty of saying that in the past. But I just think, like, with this situation, I'm not saying like there's people who are thinking and using this thing as an excuse to steal. But like, it's just like, for me, like, bashing down doors and then just stealing shit, and then, like, you know what I mean? It just, like, I don't get that perspective. And like, if anything, like, that makes me really hurt for well, hold on, but it really makes me hurt for George Floyd's family too, that like people are doing this in response to that, because like I don't know George Floyd personally, you know, obviously none of us do. I just don't know if he would have wished for that, you know what I mean? I know he would have wished for change, but I just think, like, I don't know, man. Stealing's not cool. It's just not cool. No. And I was immature for saying that shit too about people with Walmart. Like, oh, fuck them, like it's Walmart. But like, you know, stealing in general, like, that shit is not cool.
No, stealing's, it's never a good thing. Like I said, I don't like support the idea, but I understand that pretty much. Like I said, when you have cops coming after you and you feel like your friend is now your enemy, what you want to do? You want to attack back, but you're not going to go and physically attack a cop. You know, you'll get killed or arrested.
Right.
So what are these people doing? There's people breaking into these big corporations and stealing stuff as almost as like a fuck you in a way. I don't think that's where we need to be at, but I can't say that I don't understand that, you know?
Yeah, dude, think about the children who were in like Walmart, dude. Say you were like, I'm a father, right? Okay, Scott's a father, right? And you're a mother as well, right? Say like you're in the store with your kid, dude, right? And this shit goes down. Like, That shit is not cool, dude. Like at all, dude. Like if anything, you permanently scarred that child for the rest of their life. And like they need to think about shit before this, like people with families, things like that, children.
For sure.
It's like you gotta be more mindful before you just execute with shit like that and destroy things.
And like I said, not trying to defend it at all, but at the same time, a lot of these like looting that are going down, they're going down at night when the places are closed. So there's no like families in the Walmart.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. Most of everything that turns violent, 90% of the time, is going on after 10 p.m. As soon as 10 p.m. hits these areas, that's when either people from the protest who weren't really part of the protest start looting, or it's when the cops start attacking for no reason. But it's always at 10 p.m. usually that's when all this starts going down.
Yeah, I seen a video.
Well, thanks for educating me, because I didn't know that.
A black girl was recording these people running and stealing from the stores, and she was like, "See, it's the white people coming in and doing it. It's the white people coming in and doing it." I'm like, yeah, it's like I don't know, man. It's so tiring of hearing both sides screaming same things, hatred at each other. It's so tiring.
We don't need to be taking digs at each other at this point.
Oh man,
exactly.
We need to get past that.
Wait, so was this the video of the woman who was like yelling at everybody? I think I saw this.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think she should have labeled people like that, but I think what she was trying to get across is like everybody's doing it, not just like a certain type of people. And I think she was just fed up with people looting like public housing and shit like that. Like I remember she was like, immigrants live here and stuff like that.
Things like
I don't know if you guys saw that video, but honestly, I like that video. I actually posted it on my Facebook. I haven't been too politically involved on social media, but I did like that kind of message because she's like, you got to think about these things before you do them. You know what I mean? Like before you decide to like shatter this bus station that the homeless man uses every day for his bus route, or the person who has a job uses every day. Like, you know, like you didn't think about those things. You just like did shit without thinking.
And you know what? Well, you know what some of the root of this is, and I'll just say this as a whole, as a society. Where did we go wrong? We lost respect for one another.
I see. Here's the thing. The sad thing that I sadly just like noticed, I guess, and like it's only from personal experience and just seeing from what I've seen outside and like in the world, is we were never unified. Like from as far as I could remember, there have always been issues between race. You know, that's one thing. Race and religion have been two things that have spiraled a lot of, I don't want to say issues, but have caused a lot of controversy and talk from like almost the very beginning. Wow. So in a way, I think for the majority, we've come a long way. In 2020, I don't think we're, you know, we don't have slavery anymore. We don't, you know, there's a lot of good we have come along with.
Native Americans are being exterminated like it's nobody's business. You know, I mean, well, still kind of, it's still happening, but it's not near as, you know, horrible as it was then, obviously. I mean,
just it's like we got to keep moving this progression because we've come so far. We can't stop now. We got to keep going until unarmed black people, unarmed native people, unarmed anyone is not getting killed. And we need to, you know, we need to make sure that this is a safe place for everybody to grow up.
Yes.
Y'all feel that?
Yes.
Right here. Y'all feel that?
Doing it right now. Let's all do it.
Do right here.
Right here.
For real.
Right here.
There you go. Put your hand up to the camera. There you go.
Right.
Hope y'all feel that.
there is a problem is that we're never gonna get rid of people that are just assholes, man. We're never gonna be able to do that.
Right.
There's always gonna be a bad apple in every bunch, man. And,
Exactly.
and
They're always.
no matter how hard you try.
Dude, that's what we all need to strive for, though, guys. Like I said before, man, and everybody's going to be like, oh, this guy's on some spiritual shit, whatever. Consciousness, guys, like, I don't give a shit if you believe in Buddha, if you don't meditate. Like, everybody's got to strive for consciousness. Because once your eyes are open, that's when your world changes.
Yes. You got to stay woke.
100%.
Yeah, being woke.
Yo, how long is this going, guys? I got to go to the bathroom, but, like, I don't want to, like.
Go to the bathroom. Just go.
Okay, word. I had to ask.
Can Ashton go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Can I let go, please, man?
Mr. Man.
Yeah.
And you know, I did want to throw in here. I also share a love of cannabis, and I found in my experience with that as well, that brings people together a lot.
It's kind of crazy how, like, because here's the thing. I've met people who don't smoke weed through weed that have become some of my best friends. And, like, they're just people that, like, in a way, they kind of realize, like, even if they don't smoke it themselves, this is a substance that for at least an hour to two, you're not, like, looking.
I don't smoke weed.
No, but you respect it in a way. Like we can talk, we can be friends.
But yeah.
And like I smoke weed, but you don't. And we
You
can still
freaking pothead. You're a pothead.
The devil's the reefers.
Yeah.
No, but like and that's just like that's a great thing, because even then, that's another thing we progressed on. Is back in the day, there was like two separate groups of like kids who smoked pot that were punks and like these kids that caused mayhem.
Yeah, pot's the gateway to harder drugs.
Yeah. That's, but it's like we come such a long way with that too. And you bring up a good point. I've met so many great people through the cannabis community who, like I said, don't even smoke. They just respect the culture of it, and they respect, what it can bring to the table in a way.
I have smoked before, and where I go to I go to the VA for my help, and it's federally not legal, so I can't anyway. But I honestly feel like because I have PTSD from the military, and I feel like there are some strains that would help me better than even the medicine that I take from the VA, and I'll always believe in it. Like marijuana is definitely something. Like I've even thought, my son has seizures. I've even thought of thinking about maybe going that route with him because of the effects that it could have on the positive effects it could have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me just acknowledge the comments too. I know we're looking at the comments. The government can't take out racists. It's up to us. It is up to us. We were divided from the start. I'm pro-Trump, but I don't like how he's threatened. So if we understand, even in Trump supporters themselves or non-Trump supporters, personally, I don't care. If you support him, you don't support him, you're not going to hear any flack from me. Straight up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we want to stand for what's right. And whatever that looks like, that's what we need to get to.
And Kyle brought up a really good point too, in the sense that he says he's pro-Trump and he's able to notice like flaws in a way. He will acknowledge that the person he supports isn't perfect, which is giant in this country right now. Because all protesters need to realize that there are people that aren't a part of the movement, but they're here and they act like they are, and they're only here to cause mayhem. Just like how not every cop is bad, but there are plenty of cops, bad apples in that batch that are there to cause mayhem. So it's like, I think it's really good when you can like notice the flaws. Like I said, I'm not anti-police, but I'm anti-corrupt police. I'm anti-bad cop, and I will, always call out the bad cop more because I always view it. I've used this example back when Ferguson happened. I said, if you're playing a soccer game and you're playing on the same team, your teammates are running down, and one of your teammates takes the ball, turns around, and shoots it into your own goal, you're not just going to sit there and say, oh, whatever, you messed up, things happen. You're going to say to him, bro, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to like ruin this are you trying to like ruin the game and like ruin what we've come to? And that's kind of fun, what I feel like a lot of people feel like when they see like the cop, killing an unarmed person. It's just like, we're supposed to be on the same team, I thought, and you're killing our teammates. You're
Right. And a lot of people are saying that it's going back to the riots in the 60s. My parents have told me about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hate to see us repeat patterns. We have come far. Don't get me wrong. We have come far since the 60s. However, there are a lot of things that are mirroring that at this point. I just don't want to see it repeat over and over.
And I think one thing that people point out a lot. I'm sorry, Ashton.
Nah, bro, go ahead.
Just super quick. I've seen a lot of things posted on social media and Twitter about how we don't want to relive the 60s and all those times when the riots were going on. But I think one thing we do need to acknowledge, whether we support the riots or not now, change did come from some of those riots. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yes.
And I think that's an important thing. Whether you support them or not, we got to acknowledge that. That's just a thing that's in history, you know?
Absolutely.
Hey, here's a side note, and this is like kind of like a tangent on the side of that. This is just like, can you imagine, guys? All right, so like, can you imagine? I don't know how you guys feel about psychedelics. Like I said, this is an extra tangent. Can you imagine if we gave every racist person LSD? Can you imagine that?
So
Can you imagine that?
I've seen some memes that have been like cops with tear gas and then a little guy, me with a squirt gun full of LSD. And I thought that's so funny. So that's the thing. Here's the thing. I would love to believe that would change everything. But the reality is, and as somebody who very much respects
Then the
and
rules
somewhat embraces the psychedelic community, I know that it's not for everybody. I know, like, you could
No, that's
shit
true.
like that could be cured.
It was just more of a joke. No,
Oh, for sure,
more
for
of a
sure.
joke. I'm not like, yeah, dude. I wrote a paper on the medicinal use of mushrooms and LSD when I was in college, and half the class looked at me like I was fucking crazy, but half the other class was like, dude, this guy's a fucking genius. I like this guy. Anyways, dude, I got a 95 on this shit, and I was stressing to everybody that psychedelics is not for everybody. I was just more fucking around, like dicking around about it.
Trust me,
because,
if the cure to this world were to just give everybody a magic mushroom, I would already be handing them out to the cops on the front line. But sadly, that's not the cure we have.
Bro, you can't be racist after that shit. You just can't. It's fucking impossible, dude. Like, I was never racist before it at all, but it opened my mind up like even more after that. And I was just like, bro, how can racism even exist? This shit is crazy. Like, how this shit even happens. But you know what, guys? Hatred and racism is learned. That shit is learned. Nobody is born racist on this planet, dude.
Yep, as it is a learned behavior to hate a certain party, as it is a learned behavior to, I mean, everything is learned behavior is what you differentiate your life due to your upbringing.
I remember I saw
very open. So
I saw a video today, and I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
I just want to say that my upbringing was very. My parents were hippies in the '60s. Like I was just brought up to love everyone, regardless of whatever they. Like I said, regardless of everything. So just throwing that in there. Go ahead, talk about that video.
I was gonna say I saw a video and people were commenting certain things on it, saying like, the only way to go about these current issues is fighting fire with fire. And I just can't express enough that the more we fight fire with fire, the bigger the fire is going to get. And the more we won't be able to put it out. If somebody's fighting with fire, put that fire out. And like you just said, Nikki, your parents were hippies in the 60s. Same here. Like my parents were all about the Woodstock life and, during the Vietnam War, putting flowers in the butt ends of guns and stuff. They were all about that and very supportive of that. And they made a movement. So I think as much as riots in the history books, have caused things to change, it's also pretty clear that peace has been able to cause change too. So we got to be able to, find that ground of what's going to make things change in this country, in the world, pretty much. Because, you see not this specific issue, but issues all over that are affecting innocent people.
You know what the hell?
Dude,
I do it for you. I do it for me. I do it for you.
Yeah.
That's right.
My whole damn family. Hey, you know what's cool about this next track I'm working on, bro, with this video is my message at the end of this. I go, from my native people all around the map, for my human beings all around the map. Hey, like I made sure to include that. Like I am native and I'm very proud to be native, but at the same time, like I wanted to get it across that like shout out to like all the human beings across the map. Like everybody's dealt with some kind of struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's had their own life experiences being a human being. You know what I'm saying? I think the best thing to do is share your experience, because that's how you become connected to another person. Is
Yes.
keeping an open ear and sharing your life experience.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
I want to point out right now that because one band that
Step away for a second.
oh yeah, you good. There's a band.
Oh, he's got to use the bathroom now. That's bathroom break number 2, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
He didn't even ask. No,
Dude,
but
I used to raise my hand. No, go ahead, Zach.
I was just gonna say, like, during all of this going on right now, because I see somebody pointed and Metallica fighting fire with fire. There's a band right now called Body Count that's fronted by the rapper Ice-T that pretty much a lot of the content it's put out like years ago is like talking about what's going on now, and it's like pretty much a soundtrack to like how we gotta like fight the system. They have songs about, you know, like one of his songs that came out in 2017, he says right in the beginning, I've been talking about racial injustice for far too long. You guys think this is something that's brand new. You know, like, it's like, I've noticed that. It's like, after a certain issue happens in the country, a lot of times we get angry for a minute and then it dies down. I think this is going to be one of those few things that is going to stay heavy until we see those changes. Yeah, Grateful Driver. You know what I'm
Dude,
talking
I just hope innocent people. I just like Undeniable, The Storm. Dude, I don't get it, but hell yeah. I'm just gonna say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like, I don't get it, but word.
Yeah.
The Storm. I love it, dude. But anyways, what I was gonna say, bro, is like, oh man, Zach, I think I'm having a moment where you had earlier, bro, a thought drop.
Dude, it
No,
happens.
hold on.
It happens.
Oh, bro,
Build
I
in
had
your-
it. I had
dude,
it.
You build it in your head.
Oh,
you get
okay, I
stuff
got
out.
it.
Yeah.
I found it. I think I found it. Ah, damn. Hold on. No, it's just like
One negative thing about the
when
cannabis
these
community.
things, dude, I left when you guys brought that up, bro. I literally was walking out of the door and I heard cannabis and I wanted to turn right around, but I had to pee so bad, dude.
Oh, that's grand. That's grand.
You know, I heard cannabis and like my eyes lit up. I was like, dude, are they talking about cannabis and spiritualism in there? I'm like, bruh, sign me up.
Yes.
But straight up,
Yes.
man, like in this world, these things keep happening, but it's like I feel like at the end of this, man, and I really pray, because I think we've been saying this the past couple times, the things of this matter have happened in this nature. We gotta all. I think it's gonna bring us closer, man. I really pray that's the end result of this, is that like it brings
That
people
is-
closer. No matter if you support Trump, no matter if you support Bernie Sanders, like just understand that like injustice isn't right.
Dude,
Are you going
wanna-
to be on the Dreezus challenge? Dude,
She
that's
wanted to
crazy.
be
This
that.
guy's not even on my YouTube, bro.
oh, hi there.
Oh, hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, sweet pea.
Hi, Scott. Hi, Main Man's daughter.
I wanted to tell you guys something. My daughter here, she's 9, she's 10. She wants to be a cop, and because of everything that's going on, it was she earlier she said she don't want to be a cop now, and I was like, no, you need to be a cop because you need to change. You need to be the change of the cops. You need
Exactly.
you need to be the best
Yeah.
you can be.
Yes.
One of the biggest movers right now in this whole movement and protesting are the cops that are choosing to take a knee and walk with the people. Those are cops who are making a promise to those people. We stand with you. We hear you. And we will march peacefully with you. We
Yeah.
know there's a racial injustice going on right now, and we're going to work with you to fix it peacefully. Those, like the people working
And Black
with
Lives do matter.
Exactly. I wanted to point that out too. At the Boston rally I went to, there were Trump supporters there screaming at the top of their lungs, Black Lives Matter. You know, it's not a
Oh, hell
political
yeah.
issue. This is something that
Yeah.
it's
That's
it's a
awful.
moral thing, you know. I know from my perspective, the end goal of this is literally, like you said, Ashton, to bring people together, not divide the nation, but show that we're about peace and equality, and that's all we want. That's all that we want.
And we got to dump stereotypes, dude. Like, we got to dump stereotypes. You know how you were saying, like, Trump supporters to the top of their lungs were screaming Black Lives Matter? Like, just because you're a Trump supporter doesn't make you a racist. Like, I hate that shit so
That's
much,
right.
man. You know?
Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you very much. If you
Like, do I
are,
like Donald Trump? No, I do not like Donald Trump at all. But am I going to vindicate somebody just because they like Trump and call him a racist? Absolutely not, dude. That would make me an idiot.
No, like I explained to you, I'm not a Trump supporter either. I have tons of Trump supporting friends and Republican friends. Why, in a joking way, but kind of, it's like, why would I go after something that's like not true about them? Like, I know these people personally are not racist, so why would I go after something that's not even true? I'd rather pull up some that Trump said or did that I didn't agree with and be like, hey, like, why, is this cool? But I'm not, and that's, like I said, it's all in friendly matter. I'll never go after somebody for supporting a politician, if they're, they have their reasons to support them. And I'm not going to be the one to say you can't think that way.
Yeah, exactly. Because then, like we were talking, that's when we shift into a communist state, when nobody has freedom of speech and nobody, like, have you guys read the book The Giver?
I've heard of the book. Bye.
So The Giver, guys, I don't want to go on like a long tangent. I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. The Giver in the books are destroyed, so you have like no sense of gaining knowledge, and freedom of speech is muted in that community, in that society. And they live in like a trapped society where like they live in a bubble. Like The Giver is probably one of the best books I've ever read, and I think it ties into this because like freedom of speech, it's like our freedom of speech is being muted. Now, mind you, there should be an extent to where freedom of speech like shouldn't be right, like splurting like racial things. You know what I mean? Like that's an abuse of freedom of speech, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then people say, "Well, it's my freedom of speech," but that's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Like that's basically abusing our right for freedom of speech when people abuse it. You know what I mean? That is
a little controversial. I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, Undeniable.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, like, I had this conversation with my brother because we were talking about freedom of speech, and mind you, he's a right, he's a conservative, but he understood, and we kind of like met in the middle of the road. I'm like, well, where does this freedom of speech thing, like, how far can this shit actually go to where it's like, all right, man. Like, like, I feel like freedom of speech, everybody should be able to speak their mind. But the moment it turns hateful and you're targeting, like, certain groups of people, like, that's when that shit is, like, not cool at all.
100%.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's like, I was just saying, like, where do we draw the line as to freedom of speech is such a basic statement. Where do we draw that line as well? Everybody has a different line. That's why
Exactly.
That's first too.
Yeah, that's like probably one of the most accurate statements I've heard is everybody has a different line of how far it'll go.
Yeah.
That's like too accurate. Everybody will always say, this is the line, but then there will somebody be like, no, I can say this is the line. Then somebody will go further and say that this is the line, and it'll just never.
Yeah, like it's in the Constitution. You know what I mean? Type shit. Like,
I wanted to let you know that she does a lot for a few different musicians, and I feel like she could help push your music a lot. Undeniable has some great.
I got you.
Hey, bro, put me on that Instagram. That would be so dope. I would be so honored.
Yeah, I'm a little guy in the background, but I network people. I bring people together. That's what I do in every aspect.
Dude, I have music with a good message, yo. I can honestly say that, like, I don't talk about bullshit like a lot of rappers do, And, like, I think that's something that you would find with my music and make you want to share it more. You know what I'm saying? Because rap is so, like, dumbed down now. And it's like, I mean, it's getting bad. Like,
oh yeah,
you guys know what I'm talking about. All that little pump shit. What's that?
So what happened to Tupac and Tupac and Biggie. Dang it, I grew up in the '90s with Tupac and Biggie. But there are some out there that are amazing, that are real
Yeah.
Oh, of
stories.
course.
You know, I love
Oh, yeah.
dearly. So
I saw my buddy. He
Dude,
posted,
Dave East is the man. I just want to say.
I saw my friend posted this post on Facebook a couple months ago and said, if you're just hating on a new artist because they're a new artist, oh no, if you hate on new artists, that doesn't make you cool. And I commented and I was like, well, what if I genuinely don't like their music? And he said, I'm more talking about the people that get to hate on for just being a new artist. And I understood that because there are so many rap artists out there right now who are rapping about what's going on right now. I mean, two artists that come to my head are Flatbush Zombies and Denzel Curry. Both are very up to date with what's going on and talk about the issues, and they talk about what they face in life. It's never like they're writing a bullshit story. It's always straight to the point, giving you like what they have to give.
Dude,
right,
I fuck with Flatbush Zombies heavy.
If I can just say,
Undeniable. You should play some
Okay.
music.
I really can't play your stuff, but I also.
I use another bathroom break. We're back.
All right.
Well, for example, a good friend of mine, My Life Float, and he's got a new EP out, and his rap's all about storytelling, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's really great. You know, I'm just very proud of him. But you know, I've got all different tastes in music and every type of genre everywhere. I don't have a specific. If you're really making point with your music or what you sing about, like I love Ryan Upchurch. He's got amazing music as well, and he doesn't put himself in just a rapping box. It's multi-genre. You know, I love that storytelling stuff, and they're just talking about their life and what they live and what their truth is.
Exactly.
And I think that's so important to have these days. Without using the music industry, let alone I'll say I promote independent. So I think that's amazing.
So who wants to hear music?
Play something. Play something.
What?
Bro, I don't like to be put on the spot, bro. No, I'm just playing. I got you. Hold on. Give me 2
Come
seconds.
on.
I'm not ready. He wasn't ready. Okay, hold on.
Ashen, you
All
should
right, hold on,
totally.
guys.
No, don't.
Ashen, do you have what's that song? Off the Jump?
But with Young Swag?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I got that, bro.
Dude, that's a banger right there. That's the track. Well, actually, no, you have like 7 the tracks, but that's one of the
me,
tracks.
Like, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean, bro?
My favorite,
We got 7, fam? What?
Yeah.
I'm playing.
my favorite undeniable song, "Switches
I'm just
Weak."
playing, Zach.
I really think music is a good way to bring people together, man.
Dude, it is.
Really?
One thing, I gotta get super hippie-ish and hippie chick. I think you'll appreciate this. I went on Fish tour last summer and followed the band Fish all around the country, and the amount of people I met, and just like the amount of love that I experienced this summer or this past summer before COVID, was absolutely like unreal. I fucking met people in Wisconsin that are now like one of my best friends. I could call them at like 2 a.m. and be like, "What's good, dude?" Like, you know, and that to me, that's just like that was caused by music. That was me, and based on the fact that both of us liked Fish and went to go see him, and now we're best homies. Like, I love that shit. I love when music.
Dude,
Awesome. I'll tell you my quick story before we get into all this. I went to Myrtle Beach with my family over the summer. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Beautiful place. Beautiful place.
beautiful
these people
place. Man.
Yes, these people at the next door to us, they were locals, and you know, they were very, you know, right-sided, whatever. But I played my up church, and we were fishing for sharks at one night. We were just shark fishing, and I was like, oh my god! They're like, hey, you want me to hold up the little baby sharks? You can take a picture. I'm like, hell yeah! And they're like, dude, we were having a great old time because of music.
Literally,
It's amazing.
it's a beautiful
Music
thing.
bonded. That's so awesome.
And one of my
That's
favorite.
awesome, man.
Super quick, Ashton, before you start the music, one of my all-time favorite artists this fucking day was Mac Miller, and definitely one of the hardest hitting like celebrity deaths. Like that was one. The reason I went on Fish tour was when Mac died. I realized that music, like I knew it, but it was a hit that musicians are people too, and they're not going to be here forever. And so that's why I went on Fish Tour. They're my favorite band, and I wanted to go see them. But Max says in his NPR Tiny Desk performance, he says in between songs at one point, he just says over and over again, music, it's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about music. It's just such a beautiful thing. And that fucking hits. Like, that is just so true to a T. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, you know how bad you want me to get? I want to play Kool-Aid and frozen pizza so bad now.
dude.
Damn you.
The title
Bro,
already got
anytime I think of Mac, though, I think Kool-Aid and frozen pizza, because that's like the first track I ever heard from him back in
Dude,
like
it's high
2011 when he dropped the mixtape Kids, dude. Bro,
Literally.
Kids like motivated.
See,
I love that
Ashton,
mixtape, bro.
this
Nike
is what's-
on my feet, dude.
this is what's sick, Ashton, is you're 28, right? 29?
26, fam.
26.
Not
I'm
there
sorry.
yet.
I gave you some years, but you were in high school at a different point than me, because I was in high school. Like when I
Yeah,
got
bro.
into high school, you were graduated. The fact that we
I
both
was the
went to
weird-
high school and both had Mac Miller. You had Kids, I had Best Day Ever, and we like those were
Bro,
things. that-
best Day Ever was great too, and then he had Blue Side Park, dude.
oh, Best Day Ever was the album. that,
Like I remember
came
that
out,
shit, bro.
and it's just
Pardon
so
me one
cool to
second,
see.
Sorry, I have to reel in my children because they're a little out of pocket. Pardon me just a moment, okay?
He's on a pee
He
break.
got out of pocket. Oh!
Oh,
Hey, bro. Kool-Aid and frozen pizza. This the work of art. I ain't talking Mona Lisa.
Dude,
Bro, his flow was so smooth.
you listen to the song 100 Grandkids, and he just has so many clever lines in it, like one after the other. He was, dude, that was
Mac was brilliant as fuck, dude.
Dude.
Mac was so smart, dude. Like,
Mac.
I remember like even Good Evening. Good Evening is another good track too.
Oh,
I like that.
yeah.
Here in the comments said they challenge us to go back to the 60s and listen to the protest songs.
Ooh.
Oh, bro, I'm not gonna even lie, dog. I don't even know if I know any. The one thing that I can say that I do like is called "Change's Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke. And Sam Cooke, I believe, grew up in that era when the protests were happening in the civil rights movement in the 60s. So "Change Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke is probably one of my favorites, man.
Million Mile.
But we can't play it 'cause we don't want to get copyrighted, bro. We'll get copyrighted if we play it.
Exactly. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta send my daughter off here.
Million Mile Club.
Okay.
I don't know what year U.S. Blues came out by the Grateful Dead, but I know that was a protest song at the time.
Oh, bro, Dreeza's Warpath. That is a great song, fam. I think he's a native artist from Canada. One I grew up listening to. He's fucking dope as fuck. I saw you Million Mile Club. He asked me if I was gonna be on Dreezus' show. I was actually on that shit last week, so maybe I'll be on it next week. I don't know. We'll see. But he's definitely an inspiration, man. Shout out to Dreezus. Shout out to War Party. Shout out to Helen Back. All those guys.
I see Million Mile Club look, if they are rapping about issues, cool, but they are rapping about drugs, thugs, disrespect of women. They are not doing any good. In fact, they are the problem. I somewhat disagree with that in a way, for the main purpose that Flatbush Zombies, like their whole trio hip hop collective is built off the idea of psychedelics and being woke. And they rap a lot about drug use.
Oh, dude.
They rap a lot about past drug use. They rap about times that they used to sip lean, which now, if you listen to their music, they're totally against it. But I think that if, they're rapping about what they've experienced in life. And if their life experience is drugs and like growing up around like people that disrespect women and stuff, like they're rapping about their reality in a way. I think I do understand where you're coming from, like some of these songs being like just straight up being like misogynistic and like just no point of them. I do get that, but I think there are plenty that do include those that are still like decent rap tracks.
Hey, bro, here's an example though. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I grew up.
No, go ahead.
I was born in 1982. Okay. No, I was born in 1982, so I grew up around that. That was gangster rap started progressing when I was a pre-teenager. So it was always part of my culture. Yep, NWA, Run DMC. We're talking. I mean, shoot, Tupac, Biggie. I mean, all these guys.
Big L.
And Yep. Oh, he's a little. I'm a little old for him.
I was gonna say
But you
that's
know
one of
what?
Ashton's favorite artists. But
Who's that? Big
But
L?
you know what?
yeah,
Damn right.
Yeah,
Damn
yeah.
right.
No, Miguel's decent.
For life.
But you know, it's like I grew up around that being part of the rap culture. A lot of women had issues with it. Like I'm a woman. Do I always agree with it being derogatory towards women? No, but it was part of their culture and part of their time, and I get that. Again, all about openness, perspective, and same thing with music. So valid
Hey,
point.
so
there, I have to say.
here's a curveball for everybody. So I don't know if you guys
Mhm.
have heard like artists like Slim Jesus who have admitted that their shit was like fake and fraud, like that they really don't be living this life that they talk about. And I think that's what he may be referencing. So like Future, for instance, guys, Future has literally admitted that he does not do Xanax, he doesn't do lean, and all the shit he talks about in his music. Like if you hear 56 Nights by Future, he talks about doing Xanax for like 50. I think it's like 3 bars a day for like 50 nights or some shit. And it's like it's retarded because like he doesn't even live this shit. And there's kids over here doing this shit that he's talking about, but he's not even doing it. So like I think that's what he may be referring to when it comes to drugs, because that's like bullshit. Like if you do that shit, cool, man. If it's you, whatever. But like if you don't really live the shit you're talking about, man, that defeats the whole purpose.
That's
yeah,
right.
I agree 100%.
Because there's kids literally, bro, 14. I'd imagine there's kids 14, 15 years old really trapping, bro, really living that life. And we got another rapper talking about trapping and all the shit he's doing. He's not even trapping, and there's this kid losing his life over the shit he's talking about.
So one big
Yep.
thing that I remember when Mac Miller died, one of his best friends was Schoolboy Q, which is like a pretty well-known new gangster rapper. Like he talks a lot about living the life as a gangster and being gang affiliated.
Schoolboy Q?
Yeah, he posted a tweet after
Bro,
Mac
he's legend.
died. He is. He's
Legend,
incredible. But he posted a tweet after Mac died and said, "This is different than most deaths in the rap game because a lot of deaths in the rap
saw
game
that.
comes from like people that front, people that are calling for bullshit, calling for drama, that are promoting drug use and being involved with beefs and like trying to put other people down." Mac was innocent. Mac was one of the few artists that didn't have beefs with anybody. He was just a young kid trying to make it in the game and sadly got involved with drugs, and that's what ended his life. But after his death, I think that took a huge impact on like the new wave of rap. And a lot of artists being like, "Oh, this isn't just like the pills that are killing people. Like this is cocaine mixed with fentanyl. This is something that like a lot of people would just do at a party that don't they don't think about that."
Hey, bro, it's sad, dog. They don't really think about this shit too that they talk about, and then there's people literally losing their life, like we were talking about before, and I mean, this is what's scaring me, bro, the most. I'm scared for the younger generation, and the reason being is because like just the promotion of like the lean and shit like that, bro. Like that shit is deadly as fuck. Like I don't know, man. That whole opiates in general are just all dangerous. I think the only natural things that we have in this world, in my opinion, are psychedelics and marijuana when it comes to drugs, if you want to call them drugs, But that's what I think when it comes to being natural. But other than that, like Molly and shit that's being promoted, like I guess you could have a conversation about Molly being medicinally okay, but the shit, that's on the street nowadays and the shit that it's cut with, I don't know if you can really trust that. Like I've done MDMA studies and stuff like that. Like there are medicinal things for some of these, drugs, if you want to call them that. But I feel like it's just focused on the wrong shit, like lean, dude. Like look how many rappers we've lost because of lean. You know what I'm saying? Like look at Fredo Santana, look at Pimp C. I'm surprised we haven't lost Wayne yet, bro, due to lean. And I think it's a miracle that Wayne is still alive right now. But we've lost so many rappers, bro, due to drug use, bro. Like and the lean and the pills and shit like that. Like that shit's got to stop, man. Because the younger generation,
I hit the
they're
wrong
gonna play
button.
copycat, bro.
There's a video of you bringing up lean, Ashton. There's a video of Mac Miller being interviewed for like a short documentary, and at one point the documentary talks about his drug use, and he says in it like, I don't like to be sober. I wanted a drug that I could like get that could put me out of my mind. And he was saying like weed wasn't that drug. It was putting him more in his mind. So he ended up going to lean. for a bit at least. And during the video, he's with another rapper named French Montana, and French Montana says to him at one point, because Mac is like, he's a young kid, literally a young kid thrown into this game. Yeah, and Mac is holding the bottle like, this is perfect. And French Montana is over and over saying, like, Mac, that's gonna kill you or put you out for shows. Like, you're not gonna, come back from that.
That's strong shit.
Yeah, and like I think I think it's super important when like rappers, especially older artists, like they convey that to the younger ones because they've been through it, they've experienced it, and they survived it. And the fact that they survived it, they're able to say, you don't want to do this. You don't want to like go down this road.
Look at him. Now he might not be on top of his gear, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, look at him. He had addiction for years, and he overcame it.
Exactly. And you could tell.
I was an addict. I was an addict for 20 something years, and I've been clean now for 6 years. So
fuck yeah, Scott.
Damn, bro.
That's awesome, dude.
I never honestly would have thought, because I gave excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses, and honestly, there's no other way to say that you get done when you self want to be done. I used to say I'll do it for my kids, I'll do it for my mother, I'll do it for this. There's no other reason besides you want to be done yourself. That's it. And I never would have guessed that like I would have full custody of my kids right now. Back in the day, DHS would not have given me my kid. They'd be gone. And I wouldn't have been like, it's so crazy to think like, it is true. When you start doing better again, you start getting everything back that you lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one thing, I'm sorry, Ashton.
Nah, hold on. I'm just gonna say this real quick, bro. Just hey, man, I just want to say, bro, congratulations for being 6 years sober. That's a fucking hell of an accomplishment, dog.
Thank you.
Seriously, man, proud of you, dog. That's fucking awesome. I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's one thing just hearing it from somebody, but to actually like think about like what they had to go through, and that's a lot of years, man, to be clean. Like, congratulations, dog. I myself. Now, the only thing, I mean, our situations were different, so I can't really compare, the substances I was using that you might have been using. But my girlfriend actually was the reason why I quit doing drinking alcohol all the time. Zach knows some of the shit I used to do. I'm not going to announce it. I'm not going to snitch myself out on here. I'm going to say I was doing a lot of extra shit on top of the drinking where I could party all night. You could catch that wave and catch that riff without me saying anything. So I used to, I'd be like, yeah, up all night doing that shit, whatever, man, partying. And like, it used to become like a thing where I do it every 2 weeks. And then it was becoming every weekend and shit like that. And I was just really in a fucked up place, man. I was doing a lot of different shit. And she sobered me up, dude. She gave me a hiatus, dude. She gave me the ultimatum. She's like, listen, you either quit drinking or our relationship's done. Dude, a year later, I have a daughter. She's 7 months going on 8 months, dude. I haven't drank alcohol since mid-October 2018 or used any other substances, dude. And how weird is this shit, dude? How weird is this shit? She was born in mid-October, a year later, after I quit alcohol. Same time frame and everything.
Yeah, my mother
said that.
She said something that made sense. It really hit home. She said, anytime, because listen, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. Being a single father of these 3 kids is by far, and I've been overseas, is by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I've been on Orange Ave in Florida in the worst street with all my clothes in a bag, walk at midnight, looking for stuff in the middle of the night, and that was pretty hard. And so raising these kids, the hardest thing I've ever done, but I'm gonna see it through. And my mother said, because, and honestly, I'm gonna say, if any addict says that they don't ever think about doing it again, they're a liar. Because there's not every day, but some days I'll be like, damn, man, this would just help me get through. But then my mother said something that hit home. She said, whenever you think of something like that, you pick up your daughter, you pick up your kids and look them in the eyes and realize what you'll lose. Because I will lose everything. And it's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I watched with my girlfriend actually the other day. we watched this mini documentary about this guy named Brandon Novak, who's a skateboarder, and he's popular for being like associated with from Jackass, from Bam Margera and stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
one of the things that Novak says in the documentary about his
Legendary.
drug use is he said he started using drugs to avoid a bunch of problems. But one of the biggest things that he had to face when getting sober is
That's
you're
right.
not just facing the issue of getting sober. Now you're facing the issues that you have neglected for so many years because you were just getting high. And he's like, that's one of the hardest things. It's like you're battling two battles, you know?
Maybe
Yeah.
you were
Exactly.
right. It wasn't Orange Ave. It was Orange Blossom Trail. That's what it was. Dude, I walked with a huge backpack full of clothes in a backpack by myself, looking for stuff, going into a hotel room with the trap, the trap with all my stuff, and trying to rip off these people to get high. And dude,
Wow.
that's scary. That's scary. And so I'm so glad. Like I'm so glad because I'm so glad I'm over with that, man. And I would never. But you know, one thing I even talked to my friend about this the other day. One thing that I realized that like I try my best to make amends with the people that I've done wrong. But and listen, in the drug game, I've ripped off tons of people. I can't make that better. I can't make it better, and it tears me apart. It tears me apart that I can't make better all the people that I've done wrong. And
But I think
look
one
at you
important
today, though, man.
I was gonna say, I think one important thing that comes from all that, dude, is the fact that you've realized that you've come so far and you've done everything you can do. You got sober, and you're helping them in a way by showing them it's possible. You know, the people you ripped off, they're in the same boat, man. If you think they're not out there ripping off other people too for the same thing, it's like it's a circle. It's a vicious circle, but at the same time, you've done the best thing you can do. You showed them it's possible to get out of it.
Right.
Yo, Zach, I got a question for you, bro.
What's up, dude?
Did you yourself think I had a problem back then?
Yeah. I thought.
Damn. Now, like, just asking a friend, like, you know what I'm
think-
saying? Like,
I will say this. I think the college that we were attending, which I don't feel like putting on blast right now, I think they heavily contributed to the amount of stress. Because I knew kids that were addicted to not just what you were off doing. I knew kids addicted to Xanax. I knew kids addicted to perks. I knew kids that were doing all sorts of shit at college, and it was, a lot of it was.
My stress level was high. My stress level was high because I was working like 30 hours a week, doing the full-time school shit. So like on the weekends, dude.
A lot of it stems from the community, like.
Hey, undeniable. Before we keep going off on that situation,
Yeah.
there's a guy in here in the comments named Wixter, and he has a page that he does it's called Battle at the Bar, and you pick your opponent and go face to face with rap battling these people.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I think
I'm not gonna even lie to you, bro. I don't really do that shit. I used to do rap battles and shit back in the day, but I'm just like so focused right now on like bringing out like my own music right now. I'm working on my own personal shit. Like that, like battle rapping is really not something I do anymore. I used to. I've heard of the battle bars though. I've had bad experience with rap battles in the past, bro. Like shit that's like beefing and shit that's like taking it to the next level. And like a lot of people take rap beefs, bro. I'm not gonna say whatever happened in that situation, but like I just don't. It's a whole nother energy, bro. I'm on like a different kind of plane.
Yeah, and now let me say something. I was a singer growing up. I was a soloist. I sang mostly operetta and choir and things like that. And now I just I like to harmonize with people. So that's kind of my thing. I'm not looking to be an artist at all, but I love being in the background and I love helping people.
I'm with you.
That's fucking awesome.
That was like
I'll be right back.
one thing me and my buddy in college did. We actually started, and it was really cool because I never like experienced something like this. We started a mini business, and it was legit. Like we went to a lawyer and got like an LLC agreement for everything. Like it was the first time I ever done something like that, and it was for a this page that pretty much we promoted small artists in Maine to go on to bigger record labels in Maine. And there were no contracts. Basically, what it was is you messaged us, we talked with you, and if we respected what you wanted to do and respected your movement, we put you on the team. Anytime you had a new song, new album, anything, we were out there promoting. Anytime that we had, like, we would book shows and we'd, like, you know, have our artists perform at those shows and be like, you know, this is our name was Unexplained Blessings at the time. So it would be like an Unexplained Blessings presentation of our artists. And that, like you said, Nikki, it's like a good feeling. I love doing that kind of stuff, just working in the background and like working to make sure these people are heard, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's most important. I mean, I am a vocalist, but I never thought of it as being a thing. I always thought of like, shoot, if someone wants me to sing harmony in the background, I'm good. Don't put my name on it because I'm not about that. You know what I mean? I want the artist to be just amplified in whatever way that they can be.
You just want to help.
Yeah, I just want to help.
That's awesome. We need more people like that, man. Dude,
more
you know
behind
what?
the scenes.
Being a rap artist, dude, being a rap artist, like, I'm not gonna lie, dude, you're in the beefiest, big-headed game, like, possible. And, like, I hate that shit, like, because I wish we as artists, like you said, we could help each other. You know what I'm saying? We could strive together. Like, for instance, I'm from Maine. Everybody's so focused on being the king of Maine and shit, or the best rapper out of Maine. Like, my perspective is different. Like, I really don't give a shit if people think I'm the best rapper in Maine or not. Or, like, my goal is to not only get big in my state and rep for my state, I'm trying to go fucking worldwide. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I guess
he does it for him. He does it for you.
Yeah, I do this for you.
Did you?
And bro, this is and like, I love Maine, like, to this fucking universe and back. I love this state so much. I just feel like too many rappers, like, bro, like, too many rappers are trying to be like the best rapper out of Maine instead of like working with each other and like trying to develop and like grow together. Everybody's like too focused. You know why? Because Maine hasn't had like they had Spose, you know, and like, I'm not taking anything away from Spose. I don't really listen to his shit, but like, everybody's focused on like taking that throne in Maine. And like, I'm gonna rep my state, but I'm trying to be big in my own sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
was watching this thing on, it was like this, I don't know, it was a Zoom meeting with these bunch of Maine rappers, and they were doing who's number 1 to number 10 or something like that. And a lot of the good rappers from Maine weren't even in there. I mean, honestly, a couple of them are okay, but like, I mean, if
you know why? You know why? Because it's biased.
Yeah,
people are biased on the artists they choose for Maine. Like, if you're say for instance, if you're a rapper from Bangor and only people know you in Bangor, they're gonna call you fucking number 1 just because they can. Same thing with Portland. Same thing with any town you're from in Maine. It all forms a bias. Like, for instance, if a kid's from Stamford, Maine, right? Everybody's gonna fuck with that kid and call him number 1. Even if I'm better than him as an artist, they're still gonna call him number 1 just because he's from Stamford and everybody knows him and that's his crowd. So, like, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
From New York.
You're from New York?
Right, New York.
I got nothing but respect.
We can't
Western New York.
We can't get there from here. So.
Even though the damn songs are
Can't
better.
get to the New Yorkers.
Let's have some coffee, okay?
Coffee. Get some coffee and shut up.
Bro, hey, have you guys noticed people from Boston? They don't even say fucking R's. Like, my mom's from Boston, so she says ka. Cock. She says like fox. Like, I think my grandma said fox, but it sounded like fox. So she said, "Hey Julie, can you get the fox?" And my mom's like, "Fox, Mom? What are you talking about?" And that's why they call it the Sox. You ever hear somebody say the Red Sox in Boston? They don't say that shit. They just go, "Yeah, we're gonna watch the Sox tonight." Nobody says the Red Sox. The only
Red Sox play tonight at Fenway Park.
At Fenway Park tonight.
Yeah, my 5-year-old a couple days ago, we were walking somewhere, and he said, "Look at that car," and I said, "There you go, son. There you go.
There you go, Bob.
Here we go."
That's incredible.
I honestly feel like you know, I write music and I write a lot of stuff, but I feel when I hear myself on a like literally hear myself on music. Who the hell's gonna listen to a rapper with a Maine accent? I mean, it just sounds.
I have a funny story real quick. When my buddy and I
People
were
have
on
done
fish
it.
tour, me and my buddy stopped in Camden while we were on fish tour to go see fish, and my
Camden,
buddy went.
New Jersey.
Yeah, we went to Camden, New
That's
Jersey.
a rough area.
I
dude.
know, Ashton. I didn't know that when I got there. I found out pretty fast.
Isn't
That's
that
not
one
the
of
best
the most
area.
dangerous cities, like by
Yeah.
homicide?
Ashton, I didn't know
Holy
this before I went on tour, but I
Holy
went.
shit, dude.
And one of the things I found kind of funny, but also panicking, was my buddy Mac walked up to a cop and he said, "Hey, bub," instead of "Hey, sir," "Hey,
Yes,
officer."
about. Yes, about.
I just looked at Mac and I was like, "Dude, we're not in Maine. We can't just start calling cops bub. Like that might be disrespectful here. Like in Maine, that's fine. If a cop comes up, you're like, "What's going on, bub?" That's fine. Camden, New Jersey,
no,
we're
not-
like, and we're two fish fans.
New Jersey,
Justin,
they're probably
you know,
like, go fuck yourself.
dude, it was such a look. We're two hippie kids in tie-dye, like both, obviously like ready for the fish show, and like, yeah, these cops are just like, what the hell?
Yeah, it back you off.
Fuck off.
Zach, I remember when you wrote on your Facebook, guys. Oh, hold on. I just
I
want
have-
to say something. Oh no, go ahead. You can talk.
It was okay. No, I was just saying I
No,
have a
hit the
rapper
chick.
friend based
Floor
out
yours.
he moved to Vegas. Really cool guy, Cloud9. Yeah, a little bit like that. And he's from the Shore area. He's from the
Oh
Shore.
yeah, the
But
shore, the Jersey
he's
Shore.
got the accent. The Jersey Shore. Yeah. But even me being a New Yorker, now people have a lot of misconception. Let me just say this before we get into this other subject matter. I'm a Western New Yorker. I'm near the Buffalo Niagara Falls area. Therefore, we have a slightly different accent. I love my New York City people, but we're not the same breed of human, if that makes sense.
Are you like Adirondack, New York? Because I've always wanted to go there to the
No.
Adirondack Mountains.
Dude,
It's beautiful.
Ashton,
My dad's gone hunting there. No, I'm near Buffalo and Niagara Falls, near the Canadian border, actually, in that little dip
Oh,
corner. So
shit.
Ashton, we
left.
Mac and I spend a night in the Adirondack Mountains on fish tour. We were going to a music festival
What?
in Turin. Yeah, so we spend a night in the Adirondack Mountains, and it was incredible.
Dude, I'm gonna get off this. It's so jelly.
I honestly feel like the band Fish has got a lot of plugs tonight.
Dude, yeah. If everybody's watching this and after this, you should go look up Fish,
Yeah.
PHISH, and I recommend starting with a Baker. Look up Baker's Dozen. Great shows, any one of them.
Fish should have made a song
Hey.
called Fat, Phat.
They should have. They missed the opportunity.
That would have been awesome.
Hey, I just want to say that Sasquatch guys, I know this is a side note, but guys, Sasquatch is real, fam. And I'm just gonna say that. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, bro.
Well, think about it. We have Woodstock here. Woodstock's here,
What's
and they have Woodstock since '99 because of what happened at the Limp Bizkit incident and all that stuff.
Oh, my
And undeniable. I want to
What
tell
happened?
you also that Wixter, that his page, he's a good friend of mine. Scatter is he actually does like time on his page called The Bar, and Wixter he does more than just that. He also works with underground artists to help him get out there too. So if you want
doing
to,
the same thing. Yeah.
Hey, Wixter, hit
What's
me
his-
up, bro. Look me up. Just look up Undeniable. Look up. I'll just give you an example. Cut the Check, Undeniable, and then from there you will see my YouTube channel. Because for whatever reason, on Undeniable, there's like fucking.
I know, dude. Every
A
time I
bunch
look at YouTube, I can never find you.
I just see fucking Second Chance by Undeniable. That's all I see. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, man? I'm trying to find myself, bro.
I know you can't even find yourself in there. Like, what the hell?
Dude, but hey guys, I'm changing my name. All right, y'all ready for this shit? I'm changing my
What?
name.
Deniable.
Undeniable the Native.
deniable.
But here's the reason. Hey, but here's the reason, guys. Here's the reason. Because there's too many motherfuckers on Spotify with the name Undeniable. So all my tracks get put on their playlist. And I'm like, no. I need my own fucking page on Spotify. So I have to change my name.
I wanted to tell you
Dang.
also undeniable. Your last.
What about Undeniable the guy? That guy.
He said, I noticed about 10 undeniables.
What about that guy? Undeniable. That
Undeniable.
guy, comma,
Undeniable.
undeniable.
That guy, undeniable.
Actually, hi.
Ashen, I wanted to
Yo,
I wanted to tell you, you know, and I've said this before, man. Your last song is so amazing, dude. Like I've told
Top
you
four?
before, like you,
thanks, man.
like honestly, and I know I was honest with you before. Like a lot of your music had the same flow, and I'm so happy.
Right.
I'm so proud of you for stepping out of your comfort zone and realizing that dude, when you get out of that comfort zone, you are gonna kick ass, dude. That last song of yours was unbelievable, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Hey.
Every time I put it on, everybody's like, "Oh, this is dope," and I'm like, "Would you believe this is a main rapper that I'm friends with?"
Yeah.
Because it is.
He'll
Hey,
do it for you.
I appreciate the fuck out of that, Scott and Zach. Thank you guys so much, homie. I'll give you guys a little background with that without talking too much, but I made that song Top Floor before my daughter had open heart surgery in January. And we were literally on the top floor, like to the unit, the Barbara Bush Hospital at the Maine Medical Center. We were literally on one of the top floors. And I don't know, man, we had like a view of Mount Washington in the far background. You could see it in the windows. And I don't know, dude, just some like inspiration came over me. And then like, that's how it was born, dude. That's how that track was born. I wrote that in a hospital, dog, before one of the most stressful situations of my life. And I don't think people really understood that track. I think like you guys did, but some people I don't think really got the concept of it.
I don't know. Actually, I was gonna say I think a lot of people like realized with that track that you were you were writing from a place of like pain in a way, in a place of passion, like. And I think people did.
And I still had the time to say, "I'm on the top floor. I gotta be more. I'm on the top floor." Dude, I gotta play that shit for you guys. Do you want me to play this shit?
I got it.
Shout out to
already
the
got it.
people in the comments praising Fish.
Shh, shh, shh.
I gotta keep pushing, I gotta keep moving, I gotta be everything I wanna be, I gotta get more, I gotta be more, I'm on the top floor, I gotta be more, I'm on the top floor, I gotta keep pushing, I gotta keep moving, I gotta be everything I wanna be, I gotta get more, I gotta be more, I'm on the top floor, I gotta be more, I'm on the top floor. Life changing, rearrange, change for the best of things. I got dreams of being well, I want the finer things. Young native from the res, now I'm on everything. Life's a mindset, basically mind over matter. Gotta see them broke days before your pockets get fatter. Always treated average, they ain't show me no compassion. Can't expect the sympathy, so don't ask for reactions. Staying in my lane, cruise control, no crashing. The places that I'm going, they can't even fucking fraction this. Remain passionate to find I'm immaculate. My chances always felt like 1%, now I'm 100 in. Now my presence thundering. Soon enough I'll be the king, I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep moving. I gotta be everything I wanna be, I gotta get more.
One more verse, guys.
Huh?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I gotta be more. I'm on the top floor. I gotta be more. I'm on the top floor.
Thank you.
I gotta keep moving. I gotta be everything I wanna be. I gotta get more. I gotta be more. I'm on the top floor. I gotta be more. I'm on the top floor. Affecting people around the globe. Somehow I feel like I was chosen. Live out my vision. Watch my little girl grow before. Now they see my growth. Started local rapping at them bars. Now I'm a superstar. Gotta keep my guard up. Ain't no chance I'm going overboard. So many different shots boards is what I'm heading towards. Yeah. Who I do this for? I do this for my daughter and my girlfriend going harder. Started dreaming and the dreams got larger. Life changed. I'm a father, now it means that I'm selfless. I put it on the line for her. You know the love is endless. The meaning of life. She's been the essence. My baby special daddy gon' be here through the storm. I gotta keep pushing.
Right, man.
I gotta keep moving.
Hey, thank you so much, bro. And guys,
Dude,
the
that's
whole
all-
inspiration to that video, do you guys see that picture of that little girl on the wall? Can you guys see that?
No.
No.
Hold on. Let me grab it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
This is the inspiration
welcome.
behind that whole track.
Aw.
Aww. Oh, cuteness overload.
Dude, Asher, she's got your fucking eyes, and
That's
she's
her.
probably gonna be a mini undeniable.
Thank you so much, bro. She's beautiful. I appreciate that, dog. She looks a lot like me and a lot like her mom. It's weird. We're
Her eyes are
50-50,
slightly less squinty, but that's just for other reasons.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
beautiful.
she's beautiful, dog. And thank you guys so much for liking that track, man. That's
Dude,
one of my
you know,
favorites. And
I honestly listen.
Beautiful.
I think if we keep going on and on and on and talking, I think we should end it at that, man. That was beautiful.
Mm.
We could
Oh,
talk
that
for
was.
hours.
all right.
I could talk on for hours, but if we leave it at that, man,
Me
that was
too.
beautiful, undeniable. You know,
That's a perfect way to end it. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
you're
You guys want to see the picture one more time?
of course.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. That's my little hero right there.
Hold it right there. Hold it right there. Don't move. Don't move.
All right, I got you.
I'm gonna
Is
put that-
it- is it good?
Wait,
Hey, no, you gotta put your face next to her.
Oh shit! Hold on.
you'll put-
Trying to do this.
That's so funny, dude.
I'm just playing.
Let me just say one thing before we
Look at that little he's cheesing. Look at him. He's cheesing.
I'm
I
cheesing hard.
appreciate all of you. I'm very happy to have had this opportunity. Thank you so much to Main Man. Thank you, Undeniable. Thank you, Zach. I love that we have come together, and I'm hoping that the rest of our nation can do what we're trying to do.
Baby steps.
Hey,
That's all
What
it
we've
is. We got
accomplished.
Hippie chick,
Jake,
you
go ahead.
brought some amazing vibes to the whole group, and I know everybody can agree with that because
Absolutely.
everybody vibes.
You got.
Thank you.
Hey, Grateful Driver,
You guys gotta
Go-
hook up on our social
everybody
media.
go subscribe to my YouTube, guys. Look up Top Floor Undeniable. Everybody look at Top Floor Undeniable, hit subscribe, follow me on YouTube, fam. Follow the journey. But Hippie chick, you brought so much positive vibes. Scott, Zach, all you guys brought some good ass vibes here, man.
Dude, that's crazy. I wasn't
And
even
it's following us
subscribed.
on Instagram. It's one, but it's a lowercase h.
I sent you a follow during this
Wait, what?
discussion.
Who, me?
No, her Instagram.
Bro, I wasn't.
Oh,
Even,
bro, I wish I could put my damn.
I wasn't even
I
subscribed.
can't put my link in here.
What the hell is that?
Top Floor Undeniable, guys. Go hit that subscribe button.
That's right.
Subscribe, Undeniable. All you guys can give me your Insta tags or whatever. We can link up on Insta and everything, and I think we can be part of the change, especially that platform's going apeshit. So let's be there for one another, and let's open up more talks like this. And I think it's a beautiful thing, guys. I appreciate you guys all having me today too.
Yes, yeah. Appreciate everybody here and everybody being peaceful. I'm glad we actually got to talk about this stuff and not, have it end in yelling, name calling, or anything like that.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure.
Dude, I'm so
Much
glad
love,
we didn't
everyone.
have any of that, but I had a feeling it was going to be good. I mean, everybody's just like super positive and open-minded. So, when we talk about subjects like this too, it can bring up a lot of different emotions in people. So thanks for everybody being super mature here and super well collected and everybody being respectful, especially when people were talking, everybody was respectful and let one person talk. So thank you guys so much.
Undeniable. Do you have any? Do you have a merch site?
I do, brother.
Tell everybody where they can find your merch, man.
All right, guys, look up official. I wish I could put the link here, but everybody look up Undeniable on Facebook, and I have the merch link on there. But you can look for it on Teespring. Just look up Official Undeniable Merchandise on Google, Official Undeniable Merchandise on Teespring, and make sure you follow my Facebook as well. All you got to do is just search Undeniable. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Undeniable with fucking, the amount of likes I have. So.
Awesome. And also, I also am promoting merch on here from Mile High Floating Apparel. That we support him. He was a reaction channel for a long time. So just follow Mile High Floating also on Instagram and MHF5's on YouTube.
I just want to plug super fast Sebastian Francis of Savage
Dope as
Music
fuck.
Management.
Yeah, our
Who I
boy,
currently
man.
work under. Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
gonna
he's
be
the
here
reason.
tonight. He couldn't be
Yep.
here, man.
He was the reason he told me about this tonight and said you should definitely join us. And then Scott messaged me. So yeah, huge shout out to Sebastian. Wish you could be here, but
Dude, well, you gotta make
Shout
more
out to the
bongo-
homie
you gotta make
Sebastian,
more
bro.
bongo videos, bro.
dude, I'll work on it. Just
That was
Scott,
awesome.
the amount of people that saw your reaction, like my homies, and said that was fucking great, dude. Like,
Dude, that was cool. If you can't
Yeah.
respect an instrument, a person that plays an instrument that well, something's wrong.
well,
Some-
I seriously, I tremendously appreciate that for real, brother.
All right, you guys.
Hey, bro, I love that photo. I love that photo you sent me. That's awesome, dude.
Sneezing. All right, you guys. I love all you guys, man. I'm glad you guys are my friends. If I can do anything to help any of you guys, I will. Hippie Chick, you know I love you. Zach, Undeniable. What can I say, man? You guys are good people, man. I love you guys, honestly.
Much love, man. Much love to all of you guys.
Hey,
Have
bro.
a great night. Be safe.
Hey, much love to
Love
you
you
guys
guys.
too, and let's do this shit soon again, man. I feel
Absolutely.
very privileged to have been a part of this.
Too.
Much
Good
love,
night.
guys. Keep the positive
Much
vibes
love.
going.
Talk to you
Much
guys
love.
later.
So, do I just leave the studio thing? Just